In a world obsessed with comparison, it's easy to forget the one person who truly matters. Social media, society's expectations, and the endless highlight reels of others can make you feel like you're falling behind. But here's the truth. Your life isn't a competition. It's not about keeping up. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. Focusing on yourself isn't selfish. It's essential. When you stop measuring your worth against someone else's success and start investing in your own journey, you gain something priceless: clarity, confidence, and control over your own happiness. This session is your blueprint for making that shift. It's about tuning out the noise, silencing self-doubt, and creating a life that reflects your values, goals, and ambitions. Whether you're working on your career, your mindset, or your relationships, the principles in this video will help you focus on what truly matters: your own growth. So if you're ready to break free from comparison, take ownership of your journey, and step fully into your potential, let's dive into the 10 principles of focusing on yourself, not others. Number 1, define your own success. Defining your own success is one of the most empowering steps you can take toward living a fulfilling and authentic life. In a world that constantly bombards us with images of wealth, fame, and achievement, it's easy to fall into the trap of comparing ourselves to others. But comparison is a losing game. It distracts us from our unique path and leaves us feeling inadequate, no matter how much we achieve. True success isn't about meeting someone else's standards. It's about creating your own definition of success and aligning your actions with your values and goals. When you define success on your own terms, you free yourself from the pressure to conform and open the door to a life that feels meaningful and true to who you are. The first step in defining your own success is recognizing why comparing yourself to others is counterproductive. Social media, societal expectations, and even well-meaning friends and family can create a distorted picture of what success looks like. We see others' highlight reels, their promotions, vacations, and milestones, and assume that their lives are perfect. But this comparison ignores the struggles, sacrifices, and unique circumstances that shape each person's journey. When you measure your worth against someone else's achievements, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. Success is deeply personal, and what works for one person may not work for you. By focusing on your own path, you can create a definition of success that reflects your values, passions, and aspirations. To create your own definition of success, start by reflecting on what truly matters to you. What are your core values? What brings you joy and fulfillment? What kind of life do you want to lead? These questions can help you uncover what success means to you, independent of external expectations. For some, success might mean financial stability and career advancement. For others, it might mean having time for family, pursuing creative passions, or making a positive impact in the world. There's no right or wrong answer, only what feels authentic and meaningful to you. Take the time to explore these questions deeply, and don't be afraid to challenge societal norms or expectations that don't align with your vision. Once you've identified your values and priorities, the next step is to set goals that reflect your definition of success. These goals should be specific, measurable, and aligned with your values. For example, if you value creativity and self-expression, your goals might include writing a book, learning a new art form, or starting a blog. If you value health and well-being, your goals might focus on fitness, nutrition, or mindfulness. The key is to ensure that your goals are meaningful to you and reflect the life you want to create. By setting goals that align with your values, you create a sense of purpose and direction that guides your actions and decisions. Aligning your actions with your values and goals is essential for living a life that feels successful and fulfilling. This means making choices that reflect your priorities, even when they go against the grain. For example, if you value time with family over climbing the corporate ladder, you might choose a job with flexible hours, or turn down opportunities that require excessive travel. If you value personal growth over material wealth, you might invest in education, travel, or experiences rather than accumulating possessions. Aligning your actions with your values requires courage and intentionality, but it's the key to creating a life that feels authentic and rewarding. Another important aspect of defining your own success is embracing the idea that success is a journey, not a destination. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that once you achieve a certain goal or milestone, you'll finally be successful. But success isn't a one-time event. It's an ongoing process of growth, learning, and self-discovery. By viewing success as a journey, you can appreciate the progress you're making and find joy in the process, rather than constantly chasing the next big thing. This mindset also helps you stay resilient in the face of setbacks and challenges, as you recognize that success is about more than just achieving specific outcomes. It's also important to regularly revisit and refine your definition of success. As you grow and evolve, your values, priorities, and goals may change. What felt meaningful and important to you at one stage of life may no longer resonate as you gain new experiences and insights. Regularly reflecting on your definition of success ensures that it remains aligned with who you are and what you want. This might involve setting aside time each year to review your goals, assess your progress, and make adjustments as needed. By staying connected to your evolving vision of success, you can continue to live a life that feels authentic and fulfilling. Defining your own success also means letting go of the need for external validation. When you're clear about what success means to you, you're less likely to seek approval or recognition from others. This doesn't mean you don't value feedback or support. It simply means that your sense of worth and accomplishment comes from within. By focusing on your own standards and values, you create a sense of inner confidence and resilience that isn't dependent on external factors. This shift in mindset allows you to pursue your goals with greater freedom and authenticity, knowing that your success is defined by your own terms. Another key aspect of defining your own success is practicing self-compassion. The journey towards success is rarely linear, and there will be times when you fall short of your goals or face setbacks. During these moments, it's important to treat yourself with kindness and understanding. Instead of berating yourself for not meeting expectations, remind yourself that setbacks are a natural part of growth and learning. Celebrate your efforts and progress, even when the results aren't perfect. By practicing self-compassion, you create a supportive inner environment that encourages you to keep going, even when the path is challenging. Finally, remember that defining your own success is an act of self-empowerment. It's about taking ownership of your life and creating a vision that reflects your unique strengths, passions, and values. When you define success on your own terms, you free yourself from the pressure to conform to external standards and open the door to a life that feels authentic and fulfilling. This doesn't mean that the journey will always be easy, but it does mean that you'll be living in alignment with who you truly are. In a world that often equates success with wealth, status, or achievement, defining your own success is a radical act of self-love and authenticity. It's about recognizing that true success is deeply personal and unique to each individual. By creating your own definition of success, aligning your actions with your values, and embracing the journey, you can create a life that feels meaningful, fulfilling, and true to who you are. So take the time to reflect on what success means to you, and let that vision guide your choices and actions. Your path is yours alone, and it's worth celebrating every step of the way. Number 2, silence the noise of social media. Social media has become an integral part of modern life, offering connection, entertainment, and information at our fingertips. But for all its benefits, social media also has a dark side. It's a breeding ground for comparison, self-doubt, and anxiety. The curated highlight reels of others' lives can leave us feeling inadequate, while the constant stream of updates and notifications can overwhelm our minds and distract us from what truly matters. To reclaim your mental health and focus, it's essential to silence the noise of social media. This doesn't mean abandoning it entirely, but rather using it mindfully and intentionally, and creating boundaries that protect your well-being. The first step in silencing the noise of social media is understanding why it fuels comparison and self-doubt. Social media platforms are designed to showcase the best moments of people's lives, their achievements, vacations, relationships, and milestones. Rarely do we see the struggles, failures, or mundane moments that make up the majority of life. This creates a distorted reality where everyone else seems to be living a perfect, glamorous life, while we're left feeling like we don't measure up. The constant exposure to these idealized images can erode our self-esteem and make us question our own worth and accomplishments. Comparison is a natural human tendency, but social media amplifies it to an unhealthy degree. When we compare ourselves to others, we're often comparing our behind-the-scenes reality to someone else's highlight reel. This unfair comparison can lead to feelings of inadequacy, jealousy, and self-doubt. It's important to remember that social media is not an accurate reflection of reality. What we see online is often carefully curated and edited to present a specific image. By recognizing this, we can begin to detach from the comparisons and focus on our own journey. To use social media mindfully and intentionally, start by assessing how it affects your mental health and well-being. Pay attention to how you feel before, during, and after using social media. Do you feel inspired and connected, or do you feel anxious, envious, or drained? If social media leaves you feeling worse rather than better, it's time to make some changes. One way to do this is to curate your feed. Unfollow or mute accounts that trigger negative emotions or make you feel inadequate. Instead, follow accounts that inspire, educate, or uplift you. Surround yourself with content that aligns with your values and goals, and that contributes positively to your life. Another way to use social media mindfully is to set clear intentions for your use. Before opening an app, ask yourself why you're using it. Are you looking for inspiration, connection, or information? Or are you mindlessly scrolling out of habit or boredom? By setting an intention, you can use social media more purposefully and avoid falling into the trap of endless scrolling. For example, you might decide to spend 10 minutes catching up with friends or exploring a topic of interest, and then log off. This intentional approach helps you stay in control of your time and attention. Creating boundaries around social media is essential for protecting your mental health. One effective boundary is to limit your screen time. Many smartphones now have features that allow you to track and set limits on your app usage. Use these tools to set daily or weekly limits for social media and stick to them. You might also designate specific times of day for checking social media, such as during a lunch break or in the evening, and avoid using it outside of those times. By creating these boundaries, you can reduce the constant distraction and reclaim your focus for more meaningful activities. Another important boundary is to create tech-free zones or times in your day. For example, you might decide to keep your phone out of the bedroom to improve your sleep, or to avoid social media during meals or family time. These boundaries help you create space for real-life connections and experiences, which are essential for your well-being. They also give your mind a break from the constant stimulation of social media, allowing you to recharge and refocus. It's also important to practice digital detoxes regularly. A digital detox involves taking a break from social media and other digital devices for a set period of time, whether it's a few hours, a day, or a weekend. During this time, focus on activities that nourish your mind and body, such as reading, spending time in nature, or connecting with loved ones. A digital detox can help you reset your relationship with social media and gain perspective on how it affects your life. It's a reminder that you don't need to be constantly connected to be happy or fulfilled. Another way to silence the noise of social media is to shift your focus from consumption to creation. Instead of passively scrolling through others' content, use social media as a platform to express yourself and share your own ideas, experiences, and creativity. This shift in focus can help you feel more empowered and less reliant on external validation. It also allows you to contribute positively to the online community, rather than just consuming content. Whether it's sharing a personal story, posting a photo, or engaging in meaningful conversations, creating content can help you use social media in a way that feels authentic and fulfilling. Practicing gratitude is another powerful way to counteract the negative effects of social media. When you're constantly exposed to others' achievements and possessions, it's easy to lose sight of what you have and feel grateful for. Take time each day to reflect on the things you're thankful for, whether it's your health, relationships, or personal accomplishments. You might even consider keeping a gratitude journal to document these reflections. By focusing on the positives in your own life, you can reduce the urge to compare yourself to others and cultivate a sense of contentment and appreciation. Finally, remember that social media is just one aspect of life, and it doesn't define your worth or success. Your value isn't determined by the number of likes, followers, or comments you receive. True fulfillment comes from real-life experiences, relationships, and personal growth. By silencing the noise of social media and focusing on what truly matters, you can create a life that feels authentic, meaningful, and aligned with your values. In a world where social media is omnipresent, it's easy to get caught up in the noise and lose sight of what's important. But by using social media mindfully, creating boundaries, and focusing on your own journey, you can reclaim your mental health and well-being. Remember, you have the power to control how you engage with social media and to create a relationship with it that serves you rather than drains you. So take the steps to silence the noise and let your life be defined by your own values, goals, and experiences, not by the curated images of others. Number 3, Practice self-awareness. Self-awareness is the cornerstone of personal growth and fulfillment. It's the ability to see yourself clearly, to understand your thoughts, emotions, strengths, weaknesses, and motivations. Without self-awareness, it's impossible to make meaningful progress in life. You might drift from one goal to another, reacting to external pressures rather than pursuing what truly matters to you. But when you cultivate self-awareness, you gain the clarity and insight needed to make intentional choices. Align your actions with your values and create a life that feels authentic and fulfilling. Understanding yourself is the first step to growth, and it's a journey that requires curiosity, honesty, and a willingness to confront both your light and shadow sides. The first step in practicing self-awareness is recognizing why it's so important. Self-awareness allows you to understand your patterns of behavior, your triggers, and your emotional responses. It helps you identify what drives you, what holds you back, and what brings you joy. This understanding is essential for making decisions that align with your values and goals. Without self-awareness, you might find yourself stuck in cycles of self-sabotage, repeating the same mistakes, or feeling disconnected from your true self. By developing self-awareness, you can break free from these patterns and take control of your life. To begin cultivating self-awareness, start by observing your thoughts and emotions. Pay attention to how you react to different situations and what triggers certain feelings. For example, do you feel anxious in social situations? Do you get defensive when receiving feedback? Do you procrastinate when faced with a challenging task? These reactions are clues to your inner world. By noticing them without judgment, you can begin to understand the underlying beliefs and fears that drive your behavior. Journaling can be a helpful tool for this process. Write down your thoughts and feelings regularly, and look for patterns or recurring themes. Another important aspect of self-awareness is identifying your strengths and weaknesses. Your strengths are the qualities and skills that come naturally to you and bring you a sense of fulfillment. They're the things you're good at and enjoy doing. Your weaknesses, on the other hand, are areas where you struggle or feel less confident. Identifying both your strengths and weaknesses is essential for personal growth. It allows you to leverage your strengths to achieve your goals and address your weaknesses in a way that supports your development. To identify your strengths, reflect on past experiences where you felt successful and fulfilled. What skills or qualities did you use? What did you enjoy about the experience? For weaknesses, consider areas where you feel stuck or frustrated. What challenges do you face, and what skills or knowledge do you need to improve? Understanding your passions is another key component of self-awareness. Your passions are the activities, causes, or interests that ignite your enthusiasm and energy. They're the things you love doing, even when no one is watching. Identifying your passions can help you find purpose and direction in life. It can guide your career choices, hobbies, and relationships, and help you create a life that feels meaningful and fulfilling. To uncover your passions, think about the activities that make you lose track of time or bring you a sense of joy and satisfaction. What would you do if money and time were no object? What causes or issues do you feel deeply about? These questions can help you connect with your passions and align your life with what truly matters to you. Self-awareness also involves understanding your values, the principles and beliefs that guide your decisions and actions. Your values are the foundation of your identity and the compass that directs your life. When your actions align with your values, you feel a sense of integrity and fulfillment. When they don't, you may feel conflicted or dissatisfied. To identify your values, reflect on the moments in your life when you felt most proud, fulfilled, or at peace. What was happening in those moments and what values were being honored. Common values include honesty, creativity, family, freedom, and growth. Once you've identified your core values, use them as a guide for making decisions and setting goals. Using self-awareness to guide your decisions is one of the most powerful ways to create a life that feels authentic and aligned with your true self. When faced with a choice, take a moment to check in with yourself. How do you feel about the options? What are your motivations? Does this decision align with your values, strengths, and passions? By tuning into your inner wisdom, you can make choices that support your growth and well-being. For example, if you're considering a job offer, reflect on whether the role aligns with your strengths and passions, and whether the company's values resonate with your own. If you're deciding how to spend your free time, Consider what activities bring you joy and fulfillment. Self-awareness also helps you navigate challenges and setbacks with greater resilience. When you understand your emotional triggers and patterns, you can respond to difficulties with more clarity and composure. For example, if you know that criticism tends to make you defensive, you can prepare yourself to receive feedback with an open mind and a growth mindset. If you're aware that stress leads to procrastination, you can develop strategies to manage your stress and stay on track. By understanding yourself, you can approach challenges with greater self-compassion and problem-solving skills. Another benefit of self-awareness is improved relationships. When you understand your own emotions and triggers, you're better equipped to communicate effectively and empathize with others. You're also more likely to set healthy boundaries and advocate for your needs. For example, if you're aware that you need alone time to recharge, you can communicate this to your loved ones and create space for yourself without feeling guilty. If you know that certain behaviors trigger your anger, you can address them calmly and constructively. Self-awareness fosters deeper connections and more authentic relationships. Practicing self-awareness is an ongoing process, not a one-time event. It requires regular reflection, curiosity, and a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths. One way to deepen your self-awareness is to seek feedback from others. Ask trusted friends, family members, or colleagues for their perspective on your strengths, weaknesses, and blind spots. This external perspective can provide valuable insights and help you see yourself more clearly. Another way to cultivate self-awareness is to engage in mindfulness practices, such as meditation or deep breathing. These practices help you tune into your thoughts and emotions in the present moment, without judgment. It's also important to be patient and compassionate with yourself as you develop self-awareness. Growth takes time, and it's natural to encounter resistance or discomfort along the way. When you uncover aspects of yourself that you're not proud of, resist the urge to judge or criticize yourself. Instead, approach these discoveries with curiosity and a desire to learn. Remember, self-awareness is not about being perfect. It's about understanding yourself so you can make choices that support your growth and well-being. In a world that often encourages us to look outward for validation and direction, self-awareness is a powerful tool for looking inward. It's the foundation of personal growth, resilience, and fulfillment. By understanding your strengths, weaknesses, passions, and values, you can make intentional choices that align with your true self. You can navigate challenges with greater clarity, build deeper relationships, and create a life that feels authentic and meaningful. So take the time to practice self-awareness and let it guide you on your journey toward growth and fulfillment. The more you understand yourself, the more empowered you'll be to create the life you truly want. Number 4, set personal goals. Setting personal goals is one of the most effective ways to create direction and purpose in your life. Goals act as a roadmap, guiding your decisions and actions toward what truly matters to you. Without goals, it's easy to drift through life, reacting to external circumstances rather than proactively shaping your future. Goals give you something to strive for, a sense of accomplishment, and a way to measure your progress. They help you focus your energy and resources on what's important, rather than getting lost in distractions or trivial pursuits. Whether your goals are big or small, they provide a sense of purpose and motivation that can transform your life. The first step in setting personal goals is understanding why they matter. Goals give you clarity and focus. They help you define what success looks like for you and create a vision for your future. When you have clear goals, you're more likely to take intentional action and make decisions that align with your values and priorities. Goals also provide a sense of direction. They help you navigate life's challenges and setbacks by giving you a clear destination to work toward. Even when the path is difficult, having a goal can keep you motivated and resilient. Finally, goals give you a way to measure your progress and celebrate your achievements. They provide a sense of accomplishment and fulfillment that comes from working towards something meaningful. To set goals that reflect your unique journey, start by reflecting on your values, passions, and aspirations. What matters most to you? What do you want to achieve in your personal and professional life? What kind of person do you want to become? These questions can help you identify what's truly important to you and set goals that align with your authentic self. For example, if you value creativity and self-expression, your goals might include writing a book, learning a new art form, or starting a blog. If you value health and well-being, your goals might focus on fitness, nutrition, or mindfulness. The key is to ensure that your goals are meaningful to you and reflect the life you want to create. Once you've identified your values and priorities, the next step is to set specific, measurable, and achievable goals. A common framework for goal setting is the SMART criteria: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Specific goals are clear and well-defined, rather than vague or general. For example, instead of setting a goal to get fit, you might set a goal to run a 5K in 3 months. Measurable goals include a way to track your progress, such as a number, percentage, or milestone. Achievable goals are realistic and within your reach, given your current resources and circumstances. Relevant goals align with your values and long-term objectives. Time-bound goals have a deadline or time frame, which creates a sense of urgency and helps you stay on track. Breaking big goals into actionable steps is essential for making progress and staying motivated. Big goals can feel overwhelming, especially when the finish line seems far away. But by breaking them down into smaller, manageable tasks, you can create a clear path forward and build momentum along the way. For example, if your goal is to write a book, you might break it down into steps like outlining the book, writing a certain number of words each day, and revising the manuscript. If your goal is to start a business, you might break it down into steps like researching your market, creating a business plan, and launching a website. By focusing on one step at a time, you can make steady progress without feeling overwhelmed. Another important aspect of setting personal goals is to make them flexible and adaptable. Life is unpredictable, and circumstances can change. What feels important or achievable today might not feel the same in 6 months or a year. It's important to regularly review and adjust your goals to ensure they remain aligned with your values and priorities. This doesn't mean giving up on your goals at the first sign of difficulty. It means being open to revising your approach or timeline as needed. For example, if you encounter an unexpected obstacle, you might adjust your deadline or break the goal into smaller steps. By staying flexible, you can navigate challenges and setbacks with greater resilience and keep moving forward. Setting personal goals also involves balancing short-term and long-term objectives. Short-term goals are smaller, more immediate tasks that contribute to your long-term vision. They provide a sense of progress and accomplishment that keeps you motivated. Long-term goals, on the other hand, are bigger, more ambitious objectives that require sustained effort over time. They provide a sense of direction and purpose. For example, if your long-term goal is to become a published author, your short-term goals might include writing a certain number of pages each week, attending a writing workshop, or submitting your work to publishers. By balancing short-term and long-term goals, you can create a sense of momentum and stay focused on your bigger vision. Another key aspect of setting personal goals is to make them meaningful and inspiring. Goals that feel exciting and aligned with your passions are more likely to motivate you and keep you engaged. When setting a goal, ask yourself why it matters to you. What will achieving this goal mean for your life, your relationships, or your personal growth? Connecting your goals to a deeper sense of purpose can help you stay committed, even when the going gets tough. For example, if your goal is to run a marathon, remind yourself that it's not just about the race. It's about pushing your limits, improving your health, and proving to yourself that you can achieve something challenging. It's also important to celebrate your progress along the way. Achieving big goals takes time, and it's easy to lose motivation if you're only focused on the end result. By celebrating small wins and milestones, you can create a sense of accomplishment and keep yourself motivated. For example, if your goal is to save a certain amount of money, celebrate when you reach each savings milestone. If your goal is to learn a new skill, celebrate each new level of proficiency. These celebrations reinforce your progress and remind you of how far you've come. Finally, remember that setting personal goals is not about perfection. It's about progress. You don't have to have everything figured out or achieve every goal flawlessly. What matters is that you're taking intentional steps toward what's important to you. Even if you encounter setbacks or obstacles, the act of setting goals and working toward them is a powerful way to create direction and purpose in your life. By staying committed to your goals and adapting as needed, you can create a life that feels meaningful, fulfilling, and true to who you are. In a world that often feels chaotic and uncertain, setting personal goals is a way to take control of your life and create a sense of direction and purpose. By reflecting on your values, breaking big goals into actionable steps, and staying flexible and inspired, you can achieve what matters most to you. So take the time to set meaningful goals and let them guide you on your journey toward growth and fulfillment. The path may not always be easy, but with clear goals and intentional action, you can create a life that feels authentic and rewarding. Number 5. Embrace your uniqueness. Embracing your uniqueness is one of the most liberating and empowering steps you can take toward living a fulfilling and authentic life. In a world that often encourages conformity, it's easy to fall into the trap of comparing yourself to others and trying to fit into a mold that doesn't align with who you truly are. But trying to be like others holds you back. It stifles your creativity, diminishes your confidence, and prevents you from fully expressing your unique gifts and talents. When you embrace your individuality, you free yourself from the pressure to conform and open the door to a life that feels true to who you are. Celebrating your uniqueness is not just about accepting yourself. It's about owning your strengths, pursuing your passions, and building confidence in who you are. The first step in embracing your uniqueness is recognizing why trying to be like others is counterproductive. Comparison is a natural human tendency, but it's also a trap. When you compare yourself to others, you're often measuring your behind-the-scenes reality against someone else's highlight reel. This unfair comparison can lead to feelings of inadequacy, jealousy, and self-doubt. It can also distract you from your own path and prevent you from fully embracing your strengths and passions. The truth is, no one else has your unique combination of experiences, talents, and perspectives. Trying to be like someone else means denying the world the gift of your individuality. By letting go of comparison and embracing your uniqueness, you can create a life that feels authentic and fulfilling. To celebrate your individuality, start by identifying your strengths and passions. What are you naturally good at? What activities bring you joy and fulfillment? What makes you feel most alive? These are clues to your unique gifts and talents. Take the time to reflect on your strengths and how you can use them to make a positive impact in the world. For example, if you're a great listener, you might use that strength to support and uplift others. If you're creative, you might channel that passion into art, writing, or problem solving. By focusing on your strengths and passions, you can create a life that feels meaningful and aligned with who you are. Another way to celebrate your individuality is to embrace your quirks and imperfections. These are the things that make you uniquely you. Maybe you have a quirky sense of humor, a unique way of thinking, or a passion for something unconventional. Instead of trying to hide or change these aspects of yourself, celebrate them. They're what set you apart and make you interesting. Remember, perfection is an illusion, and striving for it only leads to frustration and self-doubt. By embracing your imperfections, you can let go of the need for external validation and build confidence in who you are. Building confidence in your uniqueness also involves letting go of the need for approval from others. When you're clear about who you are and what you value, you're less likely to seek validation from others. This doesn't mean you don't care about feedback or support. It simply means that your sense of worth comes from within. By focusing on your own standards and values, you create a sense of inner confidence and resilience that isn't dependent on external factors. This shift in mindset allows you to pursue your goals with greater freedom and authenticity, knowing that your worth isn't determined by others' opinions. Another important aspect of embracing your uniqueness is surrounding yourself with people who appreciate and support you for who you are. The people you spend time with have a significant impact on your self-esteem and confidence. When you're around people who celebrate your individuality and encourage you to be yourself, you're more likely to feel confident and empowered. On the other hand, being around people who criticize or judge you can erode your self-esteem and make you feel like you need to change to fit in. Seek out relationships with people who uplift and inspire you, and who value your unique qualities. Practicing self-compassion is another powerful way to embrace your uniqueness. It's easy to be hard on yourself when you make mistakes or fall short of your expectation. But self-compassion involves treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a friend. When you encounter setbacks or challenges, remind yourself that imperfection is part of being human. Celebrate your efforts and progress, even when the results aren't perfect. By practicing self-compassion, you create a supportive inner environment that encourages you to keep going, even when the path is challenging. Another way to build confidence in your uniqueness is to take risks and step outside your comfort zone. When you try new things and challenge yourself, You discover new strengths and capabilities. You also learn to trust yourself and your ability to navigate uncertainty. For example, if you've always wanted to try a new hobby or pursue a creative passion, take the first step and give it a try. Even if it feels uncomfortable at first, the act of trying something new can boost your confidence and help you embrace your individuality. It's also important to remember that embracing your uniqueness is an ongoing journey, not a one-time event. As you grow and evolve, your understanding of yourself and your strengths may change. Regularly reflecting on your values, passions, and goals can help you stay connected to your authentic self. This might involve setting aside time each year to review your progress, assess your strengths, and make adjustments as needed. By staying connected to your evolving sense of self, you can continue to live a life that feels authentic and fulfilling. Finally, remember that your uniqueness is a gift to the world. No one else has your combination of experiences, talents, and perspectives. By embracing your individuality and sharing your gifts with the world, you contribute something valuable and irreplaceable. Whether it's through your work, your relationships, or your creative expression, your uniqueness has the power to inspire and uplift others. So take the time to celebrate who you are and let your individuality shine. The world needs your unique voice, your unique perspective, and your unique contribution. In a world that often encourages conformity, embracing your uniqueness is a radical act of self-love and authenticity. It's about recognizing that true fulfillment comes from being true to yourself, not from trying to fit into someone else's mold. By celebrating your strengths, embracing your imperfections, and building confidence in who you are, you can create a life that feels meaningful, fulfilling, and true to who you are. So take the time to reflect on what makes you unique, and let that uniqueness guide your choices and actions. Your path is yours alone, and it's worth celebrating every step of the way. Number 6, invest in self-improvement. Investing in self-improvement is one of the most powerful ways to focus on yourself and create a life of growth, fulfillment, and success. Growth is essential because it keeps you moving forward, helps you adapt to change, and allows you to reach your full potential. When you commit to self-improvement, you're not just enhancing your skills or knowledge, you're also building confidence, resilience, and a sense of purpose. Self-improvement is a lifelong journey, and it requires curiosity, effort, and a willingness to step outside your comfort zone. By continuously learning and evolving, you can build skills that set you apart, achieve your goals, and create a life that feels meaningful and aligned with your values. The first step in investing in self-improvement is understanding why growth is essential. Growth is what keeps life dynamic and fulfilling. Without it, it's easy to fall into routines that feel stagnant or uninspiring. Growth challenges you to push your limits, explore new possibilities, and become the best version of yourself. It also helps you adapt to the inevitable changes and challenges of life. Whether it's a career transition, a personal setback, or a shift in your priorities, growth equips you with the skills and mindset to navigate uncertainty and thrive in the face of adversity. By committing to self-improvement, you create a sense of momentum and progress that keeps you engaged and motivated. To continuously learn and evolve, start by cultivating a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the belief that your abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort and learning. This mindset encourages you to embrace challenges, learn from mistakes, and persist in the face of setbacks. It's the foundation of self-improvement because it shifts your focus from proving yourself to improving yourself. To develop a growth mindset, start by reframing your thoughts about failure and effort. Instead of seeing failure as a reflection of your abilities, see it as an opportunity to learn and grow. Instead of viewing effort as a sign of weakness, see it as a path to mastery. By adopting this mindset, you create a sense of possibility and resilience that fuels your growth. Another important aspect of self-improvement is setting clear goals for your personal and professional development. What skills do you want to build? What knowledge do you want to gain? What habits do you want to cultivate? Setting specific, measurable, and achievable goals gives you a sense of direction and purpose. It also helps you stay focused and motivated as you work toward your growth. For example, if you want to improve your public speaking skills, you might set a goal to attend a workshop, practice speaking in front of a group, or record and review your presentations. If you want to learn a new language, you might set a goal to study for a certain amount of time each day, or complete a language course. By setting clear goals, you create a roadmap for your self-improvement journey. Continuous learning is at the heart of self-improvement. The world is constantly changing, and staying relevant and adaptable requires a commitment to lifelong learning. This doesn't mean you need to go back to school or spend hours studying every day. It simply means being open to new ideas, seeking out opportunities to learn, and staying curious. There are many ways to incorporate learning into your daily life. You might read books, listen to podcasts, take online courses, or attend workshops and seminars. You might also learn through experiences, such as traveling, trying new activities, or engaging in meaningful conversations. And the key is to make learning a regular part of your routine, and to approach it with curiosity and enthusiasm. Building skills that set you apart is another important aspect of self-improvement. In a competitive world, having unique skills and expertise can give you an edge and open up new opportunities. To identify the skills you want to build, start by reflecting on your strengths, passions, and goals. What skills align with your strengths and interests? What skills are in demand in your field or industry? What skills will help you achieve your long-term goals? Once you've identified the skills you want to develop, create a plan for building them. This might involve taking a course, finding a mentor, or practicing regularly. For example, if you want to improve your leadership skills, you might seek out opportunities to lead projects, attend leadership training, or read books on leadership. By building skills that set you apart, you create a sense of confidence and competence that enhances your personal and professional life. Another important aspect of self-improvement is developing habits that support your growth. Habits are the small, consistent actions that shape your daily life and ultimately determine your success. By cultivating positive habits, you create a foundation for continuous improvement. For example, if you want to improve your health, you might develop habits like exercising regularly, eating nutritious meals, and getting enough sleep. If you want to improve your productivity, you might develop habits like setting daily goals, prioritizing tasks, and minimizing distractions. The key to building habits is to start small and be consistent. Focus on one habit at a time and gradually build on your success. Over time, these habits become automatic, making it easier to stay on track and achieve your goals. Self-improvement also involves seeking feedback and learning from others. Feedback provides valuable insights into your strengths and areas for improvement, helping you grow and develop. Seek feedback from trusted friends, family members, colleagues, or mentors, and be open to constructive criticism. Use this feedback to identify areas where you can improve and to celebrate your strengths. Learning from others is also a powerful way to accelerate your growth. Surround yourself with people who inspire and challenge you, and who have skills and knowledge you admire. Learn from their experiences, ask for advice, and observe their habits and behaviors. By learning from others, you can gain new perspectives and insights that enhance your own growth. Another important aspect of self-improvement is taking care of your mental and emotional well-being. Growth requires energy, focus, and resilience. And it's hard to achieve these things if you're feeling stressed, overwhelmed, or burned out. Make self-care a priority by taking time to rest, recharge, and nurture your mental and emotional health. This might involve practicing mindfulness, journaling, spending time in nature, or engaging in activities that bring you joy. By taking care of yourself, you create a foundation of well-being that supports your growth and helps you stay resilient in the face of challenges. Finally, remember that self-improvement is a journey, not a destination. It's about making progress, not achieving perfection. There will be times when you encounter setbacks, face obstacles, or feel stuck. During these moments, it's important to be patient and compassionate with yourself. Celebrate your efforts and progress, even when the results aren't perfect. Reflect on what you've learned and how you can apply it moving forward. By staying committed to your growth and embracing the journey, you create a life that feels meaningful, fulfilling, and aligned with your values. In a world that's constantly changing, investing in self-improvement is one of the most powerful ways to focus on yourself and create a life of growth and success. By cultivating a growth mindset, setting clear goals, continuously learning, and building skills that set you apart, you can achieve your full potential and create a life that feels authentic and fulfilling. So take the time to invest in yourself and let your growth journey guide you toward a brighter, more meaningful future. The more you grow, the more you'll discover about yourself and the world around you, and the more you'll be able to contribute to the lives of others. Number 7. Prioritize your well-being. Prioritizing your well-being is not a luxury. It's a necessity. In a fast-paced world that often glorifies busyness and productivity, it's easy to neglect your physical and mental health. But self-care is non-negotiable. It's the foundation that allows you to show up as your best self in every area of your life. When you prioritize your well-being, you're better equipped to handle stress, make thoughtful decisions, and pursue your goals with energy and focus. Self-care isn't selfish. It's an act of self-respect and a commitment to living a balanced, fulfilling life. By creating habits that support your well-being and building a lifestyle that prioritizes it, you can create a sustainable foundation for long-term health and happiness. The first step in prioritizing your well-being is understanding why it's so important. Your physical and mental health are deeply interconnected, and both are essential for your overall well-being. When you're physically healthy, you have the energy and vitality to tackle daily challenges and pursue your passions. When you're mentally healthy, you have the clarity, resilience, and emotional balance to navigate life's ups and downs. Neglecting your well-being, on the other hand, can lead to burnout, chronic stress, and a diminished quality of life. By making self-care a priority, you invest in your ability to thrive, not just survive. To create habits that support your physical and mental health, start by focusing on the basics: sleep, nutrition, and movement. Sleep is the foundation of well-being. It's during sleep that your body repairs itself, your brain processes information, and your energy is restored. Yet many people sacrifice sleep in favor of work, socializing, or scrolling through screens. To prioritize sleep, establish a consistent bedtime routine, create a sleep-friendly environment, and aim for 7-9 hours of quality sleep each night. If you struggle with sleep, consider practices like limiting caffeine, avoiding screens before bed, or practicing relaxation techniques. Nutrition is another cornerstone of well-being. The food you eat fuels your body and mind, impacting your energy levels, mood, and overall health. To support your well-being, focus on eating a balanced diet rich in whole foods, such as fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats. Avoid processed foods, excessive sugar, and unhealthy fats, which can lead to energy crashes and long-term health issues. Meal planning and preparation can help you make healthier choices, even on busy days. Remember, nutrition isn't about perfection. It's about making consistent, mindful choices that nourish your body. Movement is equally important for your well-being. Regular physical activity boosts your energy, improves your mood, and reduces stress. It doesn't have to involve intense workouts or long gym sessions. Even small amounts of movement can make a big difference. Find activities you enjoy, whether it's walking, dancing, yoga, or playing a sport, and incorporate them into your daily routine. Aim for at least 30 minutes of moderate exercise most days of the week. If you're short on time, break it into smaller chunks, like a 10-minute walk in the morning and a 20-minute workout in the evening. The key is to make movement a regular part of your life. In addition to the basics, prioritize habits that support your mental and emotional health. Stress is a natural part of life, but chronic stress can take a toll on your well-being. To manage stress, incorporate relaxation techniques into your routine, such as deep breathing, meditation, or mindfulness. These practices help calm your mind, reduce anxiety, and improve your ability to focus. Even a few minutes of mindfulness each day can make a difference. Journaling is another powerful tool for mental well-being. Writing down your thoughts and feelings can help you process emotions, gain clarity, and release stress. Building a lifestyle that prioritizes your well-being also involves setting boundaries and saying no when necessary. Many people struggle with overcommitting themselves, whether it's at work, in relationships, or with social obligations. But saying yes to everything often means saying no to your well-being. Learn to set boundaries that protect your time, energy, and mental health. This might mean declining invitations, delegating tasks, or carving out time for yourself. Remember, setting boundaries isn't selfish. It's an act of self-care that allows you to show up fully for the things that matter most. Another important aspect of well-being is fostering meaningful connections. Humans are social beings, and relationships play a vital role in our mental and emotional health. Make time for the people who uplift and support you, whether it's family, friends, or a supportive community. Engage in activities that strengthen your connections, such as having meaningful conversations, spending quality time together, or simply checking in with loved ones. If you're feeling isolated, consider joining a group or organization that aligns with your interests. Building and maintaining strong relationships is a key component of a well-balanced life. Self-care also involves pursuing activities that bring you joy and fulfillment. In the hustle and bustle of daily life, it's easy to neglect the things that light you up. But engaging in hobbies, creative pursuits, or activities that bring you joy is essential for your well-being. Whether it's painting, gardening, playing music, or exploring nature, make time for the things that nourish your soul. These activities provide a sense of purpose and balance, helping you recharge and reconnect with yourself. Another way to prioritize your well-being is to practice gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant in your life, fostering a sense of contentment and positivity. Take time each day to reflect on the things you're grateful for, whether it's your health, relationships, or simple pleasures like a beautiful sunset or a good meal. You might even keep a gratitude journal to document these reflections. By cultivating gratitude, you create a mindset that supports your overall well-being. Finally, remember that prioritizing your well-being is an ongoing process. It's not about achieving perfection or following a rigid set of rules. It's about making consistent, mindful choices that support your health and happiness. Regularly assess your habits and routines and make adjustments as needed. If you're feeling overwhelmed or off balance, take a step back and evaluate what's working and what's not. Be patient and compassionate with yourself as you navigate this journey. Well-being is a lifelong commitment, and every small step you take makes a difference. In a world that often prioritizes productivity over well-being, it's essential to remember that self-care is non-negotiable. By creating habits that support your physical and mental health, setting boundaries, fostering meaningful connections, and pursuing activities that bring you joy, you can build a lifestyle that prioritizes your well-being. This foundation of health and balance allows you to show up fully in every area of your life, from your relationships to your work to your personal goals. So take the time to prioritize your well-being and let it be the cornerstone of a life that feels vibrant, fulfilling, and true to who you are. Number 8. Let go of comparison. Comparison is a thief of joy and confidence. It's a habit that can leave you feeling inadequate, frustrated, and stuck, no matter how much you achieve. In a world where social media and societal pressures constantly bombard us with images of success, beauty, and perfection, it's easy to fall into the trap of comparing yourself to others. But comparison is a losing game. It distracts you from your unique journey and robs you of the ability to appreciate your own progress and accomplishments. To reclaim your joy and confidence, it's essential to let go of comparison and shift your focus inward. By doing so, you can cultivate self-acceptance, celebrate your individuality, and live a life that feels authentic and fulfilling. The first step in letting go of comparison is understanding why it's so harmful. When you compare yourself to others, you're often measuring your behind-the-scenes reality against someone else's highlight reel. Social media, in particular, amplifies this distortion by showcasing curated, idealized versions of people's lives. Rarely do we see the struggles, failures, or mundane moments that make up the majority of life. This skewed perspective can lead to feelings of inadequacy, jealousy, and self-doubt. It can also create a sense of competition, where you feel like you're constantly falling short or trying to keep up. Comparison not only steals your joy, but also undermines your confidence and prevents you from fully embracing your unique strengths and talents. To shift your focus from others to yourself, start by cultivating self-awareness. Pay attention to when and why you compare yourself to others. Is it when you're scrolling through social media? When you're around certain people? When you're feeling insecure about a particular aspect of your life? By identifying your triggers, you can begin to interrupt the cycle of comparison. For example, if social media is a trigger, consider limiting your time on these platforms, or curating your feed to include content that inspires and uplifts you. If certain people or situations trigger comparison, reflect on why that is and how you can protect your mental and emotional well-being. Another powerful way to shift your focus inward is to practice self-compassion. Self-compassion involves treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a friend. When you catch yourself comparing, remind yourself that everyone has their own struggles and insecurities, even if they don't show them. Instead of criticizing yourself for not measuring up, acknowledge your feelings and offer yourself words of encouragement. For example, you might say, "It's okay to feel this way, but I'm doing my best, and that's enough." By practicing self-compassion, you create a supportive inner environment that helps you let go of comparison and build confidence in who you are. Gratitude is another powerful tool for shifting your focus from others to yourself. When you're constantly comparing yourself to others, it's easy to lose sight of what you have and feel grateful for. Practicing gratitude helps you refocus on the positives in your own life, fostering a sense of contentment and appreciation. Take time each day to reflect on the things you're grateful for, whether it's your health, relationships, or personal accomplishments. You might even keep a gratitude journal to document these reflections. By cultivating gratitude, you create a mindset that supports self-acceptance and reduces the urge to compare. Another practical strategy for letting go of comparison is to set personal goals and track your own progress. When you're focused on your own journey, you're less likely to get caught up in what others are doing. Set goals that reflect your values, passions, and aspirations, and break them down into actionable steps. Regularly track your progress and celebrate your achievements, no matter how small. For example, if your goal is to improve your fitness, focus on your own milestones, like running a certain distance or lifting a certain weight, rather than comparing yourself to others. By focusing on your own growth, you create a sense of purpose and direction that keeps you motivated and engaged. It's also important to surround yourself with people who uplift and support you. The people you spend time with have a significant impact on your mindset and self-esteem. When you're around people who celebrate your individuality and encourage you to be yourself, you're more likely to feel confident and empowered. On the other hand, being around people who constantly compare or compete can erode your self-esteem and make you feel like you need to change to fit in. Seek out relationships with people who inspire and challenge you in positive ways and who value your unique qualities. Another way to let go of comparison is to embrace your imperfections and celebrate your individuality. Perfection is an illusion, and striving for it only leads to frustration and self-doubt. Instead of trying to be like someone else, focus on being the best version of yourself. Embrace your quirks, strengths, and passions, and let them shine. Remember, your uniqueness is what sets you apart and makes you interesting. By celebrating your individuality, you create a sense of confidence and authenticity that allows you to live a life that feels true to who you are. Practicing mindfulness can also help you let go of comparison. Mindfulness involves being present in the moment and observing your thoughts and feelings without judgment. When you notice yourself comparing, take a moment to pause and breathe. Acknowledge the thought without attaching to it, and gently redirect your focus to the present moment. For example, if you're feeling envious of someone's success, remind yourself that their journey is different from yours, and that you're on your own path. By practicing mindfulness, you create a sense of inner calm and clarity that helps you let go of comparison and stay focused on your own journey. Finally, remember that letting go of comparison is an ongoing process. It's not something that happens overnight, but rather a habit that you cultivate over time. There will be moments when you slip back into old patterns of comparison, and that's okay. What matters is that you recognize it and gently guide yourself back to a place of self-acceptance and focus. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small, and remind yourself that you're on a journey of growth and self-discovery. In a world that often encourages comparison, letting go of this habit is a radical act of self-love and authenticity. It's about recognizing that your worth isn't determined by how you measure up to others, but by how true you are to yourself. By shifting your focus inward, practicing self-compassion, and celebrating your individuality, you can reclaim your joy and confidence. So take the time to let go of comparison and start living a life that feels authentic, fulfilling, and true to who you are. Your journey is yours alone, and it's worth celebrating every step of the way. Number 9. Surround yourself with positivity. Your environment plays a profound role in shaping your mindset, behavior, and overall well-being. The people you surround yourself with, the the spaces you inhabit, and the information you consume all influence how you think, feel, and act. When your environment is filled with positivity, you're more likely to feel motivated, inspired, and confident. Conversely, a negative or toxic environment can drain your energy, undermine your self-esteem, and hold you back from reaching your full potential. To create a life that feels fulfilling and aligned with your goals, it's essential to surround yourself with positivity. This means building a support system that uplifts and inspires you, and letting go of negativity and toxic influences that no longer serve you. The first step in surrounding yourself with positivity is understanding why your environment matters. Human beings are deeply influenced by their surroundings, a concept known as social contagion. The attitudes, behaviors, and energy of the people around you can rub off on you, shaping your mindset and actions. For example, if you're surrounded by people who are optimistic, driven, and supportive, you're more likely to adopt those qualities yourself. On the other hand, if you're surrounded by negativity, criticism, or complacency, it's easy to fall into those patterns. By intentionally curating your environment, you can create a space that supports your growth, well-being, and success. To build a support system that uplifts and inspires you, start by identifying the qualities you admire in others. What kind of people make you feel energized, motivated, and valued? These might be friends, family members, colleagues, or mentors who embody positivity, resilience, and kindness. Once you've identified these qualities, seek out opportunities to connect with people who embody them. This might involve joining professional organizations, attending networking events, or participating in online communities related to your interests. Look for people who are actively pursuing their goals and who radiate positivity and determination. Building meaningful relationships with positive, supportive people requires effort and intentionality. It's not enough to simply be in the same room as motivated individuals. You need to engage with them, learn from them, and contribute to the relationship. Start by showing genuine interest in their work and goals. Ask questions, listen actively, and offer support where you can. Share your own goals and aspirations, and be open to feedback and advice. By fostering meaningful connections, you create a mutually supportive network where everyone benefits from each other's energy and insights. One of the most powerful ways to surround yourself with positivity is to join or create a mastermind group. A mastermind group is a small, focused community of like-minded individuals who come together to support each other's goals. These groups typically meet regularly to share progress, discuss challenges, and hold each other accountable. Being part of a mastermind group provides a structured way to connect with positive, action-oriented individuals and stay motivated. It also creates a sense of camaraderie and shared purpose, which can be incredibly inspiring. If you can't find a mastermind group that fits your needs, consider starting your own. Invite people who inspire you and who are committed to growth and positivity, and establish a regular meeting schedule to keep everyone on track. Another way to build a positive support system is to seek out mentors and role models. Mentors are individuals who have achieved success in areas you're interested in, and who are willing to share their knowledge and experience. A good mentor can provide guidance, encouragement, and accountability, helping you stay focused on your goals. To find a mentor, look for people whose work you admire and who align with your values. Reach out to them with a clear and respectful request for mentorship, and be prepared to show gratitude and commitment. Even if a formal mentorship isn't possible, you can still learn from role models by studying their work, following their advice, and emulating their habits. In addition to connecting with positive, supportive people, it's important to minimize your exposure to negativity and toxic influences. This doesn't mean cutting people out of your life entirely, but it does mean setting boundaries and being mindful of how their behavior affects you. If someone consistently brings negativity, criticism, or drama into your life, it may be necessary to limit your time with them or redirect the conversation to more positive topics. Surrounding yourself with positivity doesn't mean avoiding all negativity. It means creating a balance where the positive influences in your life outweigh the negative ones. Another important aspect of surrounding yourself with positivity is creating a physical environment that supports your well-being. Your surroundings can have a significant impact on your mindset and energy levels. If your workspace is cluttered, disorganized, or filled with distractions, it's harder to stay focused and motivated. On the other hand, a clean, organized, and inspiring environment can boost your productivity and creativity. Consider how you can design your space to reflect the qualities of positivity and inspiration. This might involve adding motivational quotes, creating a vision board, or keeping your workspace free of distractions. By aligning your physical environment with your goals, you create a space that supports positivity and progress. Letting go of negativity and toxic influences also involves being mindful of the information you consume. The media, social media, and even casual conversations can shape your mindset and outlook. If you're constantly exposed to negative news, gossip, or criticism, it's easy to feel drained and discouraged. To protect your mental and emotional well-being, be intentional about the information you consume. Limit your exposure to negative news or social media accounts that trigger stress or anxiety. Instead, seek out content that inspires, educates, or uplifts you. This might include books, podcasts, or online communities that align with your values and goals. Practicing gratitude is another powerful way to cultivate positivity in your life. When you focus on the things you're grateful for, you shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance. This sense of appreciation helps you stay grounded and resilient, even in the face of challenges. Take time each day to reflect on the things you're thankful for, whether it's your health, relationships, or personal accomplishments. You might even keep a gratitude journal to document these reflections. By cultivating gratitude, you create a mindset that supports positivity and well-being. Finally, remember that surrounding yourself with positivity is an ongoing process. It's not something that happens overnight, but rather a habit that you cultivate over time. Regularly assess your environment and the people in your life, and make adjustments as needed. If you notice that certain relationships or influences are draining your energy or holding you back, take steps to create healthier boundaries. By staying intentional about your environment, you can create a life that feels uplifting, inspiring, and aligned with your goals. In a world that often feels chaotic and overwhelming, surrounding yourself with positivity is a powerful way to protect your well-being and stay focused on what matters most. By building a support system that uplifts and inspires you, creating a positive physical environment, and letting go of negativity and toxic influences, you can create a life that feels fulfilling and aligned with your values. So take the time to curate your environment and let positivity be the foundation of your growth and success. Your mindset, energy, and well-being will thank you. Number 10. Celebrate your progress. Celebrating your progress is one of the most powerful ways to stay motivated, build confidence, and maintain momentum on your journey towards your goals. In the pursuit of big dreams, it's easy to become so focused on the end result that you overlook the small victories along the way. But progress, no matter how incremental, is worth celebrating. Acknowledging your wins reinforces positive behavior, boosts your morale, and reminds you that you're moving forward. It's a way of recognizing that every step you take, no matter how small, is a step in the right direction. By tracking and celebrating your progress, you create a positive feedback loop that fuels your drive and helps you stay committed to your goals. The first step in celebrating your progress is understanding why it matters. Big goals can feel overwhelming, especially when the finish line seems far away. Focusing solely on the end result can lead to frustration and burnout, as it's easy to feel like you're not making progress. Small wins, on the other hand, provide immediate feedback and a sense of accomplishment. They remind you that you're moving forward, even if the steps are small. This sense of progress is incredibly motivating. It reinforces the belief that your efforts are paying off, and that you're capable of achieving your goals. Celebrating your progress also helps you stay present and enjoy the journey, rather than constantly fixating on the destination. To start celebrating your progress, you first need to track it. This involves setting clear, measurable milestones that mark your progress towards your larger goal. For example, if your goal is to write a book, your milestones might include completing the outline, finishing the first chapter, or writing a certain number of words each day. If your goal is to get fit, your milestones might include working out 3 times a week, running a mile without stopping, or losing a specific amount of weight. By breaking your goal into smaller, measurable steps, you create opportunities to celebrate progress along the way. Tracking your progress also helps you stay focused and accountable. It provides a clear picture of how far you've come and what still needs to be done. There are many ways to track your progress, from journaling and using apps to creating visual charts or checklists. Choose a method that works best for you and make it a regular part of your routine. For example, you might start each day by reviewing your progress and setting a small, achievable goal for the day. At the end of the day, take a few minutes to reflect on what you accomplished and celebrate your wins, no matter how small. Once you've identified and tracked your small wins, the next step is to celebrate them. Celebration doesn't have to be elaborate or time-consuming. It's about acknowledging your progress and giving yourself credit for your efforts. This might involve taking a moment to reflect on what you've achieved, sharing your success with a friend or loved one, or treating yourself to something you enjoy. For example, if you've completed a challenging task, you might reward yourself with a favorite snack, a short break, or an episode of your favorite show. The key is to make the celebration meaningful and enjoyable, so it reinforces the positive behavior and motivates you to keep going. Celebrating your progress also helps you build momentum. Each win, no matter how small, creates a sense of accomplishment and boosts your confidence. This positive energy carries over into your next task, making it easier to take action and keep moving forward. Over time, these small wins add up, creating a snowball effect that propels you towards your larger goal. For example, if your goal is to run a marathon, celebrating each small victory, like running an extra mile or improving your pace, helps you stay motivated and builds the confidence you need to tackle longer distances. By focusing on the small wins, you create a sense of momentum that makes it easier to stay committed and overcome challenges. Another benefit of celebrating your progress is that it helps you stay resilient in the face of setbacks. Big goals often come with obstacles and challenges, and it's easy to get discouraged when things don't go as planned. But when you've been celebrating small wins along the way, you have a reservoir of positive experiences to draw from. These wins remind you of your progress and your ability to overcome challenges. They provide a sense of perspective, helping you see setbacks as temporary rather than insurmountable. For example, if you miss a workout or fall short of a milestone, reflecting on your previous wins can help you stay motivated and get back on track. Celebrating your progress also fosters a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the belief that your abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort and learning. When you celebrate your wins, you reinforce the idea that progress is possible and that your efforts are making a difference. This mindset encourages you to embrace challenges, learn from mistakes, and keep pushing forward. For example, if you're learning a new skill and celebrate each small improvement, you're more likely to stay motivated and continue practicing, even when the going gets tough. By focusing on progress rather than perfection, you create a mindset that supports long-term growth and success. To make celebrating your progress a regular part of your routine, it's important to be intentional about it. Set aside time each day or week to reflect on your progress and acknowledge your wins. This might involve journaling, sharing your successes with a friend, or simply taking a moment to appreciate your efforts. You can also create rituals or traditions around celebrating your wins, like lighting a candle, doing a happy dance, or writing down your achievements in a special notebook. The key is to make the celebration meaningful and enjoyable, so it reinforces the positive behavior and motivates you to keep going. It's also important to share your wins with others. Celebrating with friends, family, or a supportive community can amplify the positive effects of your achievements. Sharing your wins not only reinforces your progress, but also creates a sense of connection and support. It allows others to celebrate with you and provides an opportunity for encouragement and accountability. For example, if you're part of a mastermind group or accountability partnership, sharing your wins can inspire others and create a culture of celebration and support. Finally, remember that celebrating your progress is not about lowering your standards or settling for less. It's about recognizing and appreciating the progress you're making, no matter how small. By celebrating your wins, you create a positive feedback loop that fuels your motivation and keeps you moving forward. It's a way of staying focused on the journey, rather than just the destination, and finding joy in the process of growth and achievement. In a world that often emphasizes big achievements and instant results, celebrating your progress is a reminder that success is made one step at a time. It's about acknowledging your efforts, building momentum, and staying motivated to keep going. By tracking and celebrating your small victories, you create a sense of accomplishment and confidence that propels you toward your larger goals. So take the time to celebrate your wins, no matter how small, and let them fuel your journey toward success. Your progress is worth celebrating, and every step forward is a step closer to the life you want to create. Focusing on yourself isn't just about self-care, it's about self-respect. It's about recognizing that your life is your own, and no one else's journey should dictate your path. The principles you've learned in this video are your roadmap to doing just that. They're not just ideas, they're practices that, when applied consistently, will transform your mindset, your habits, and your life. Remember, your life isn't about anyone else. It's about you, your goals, your growth, and your happiness. Start today. Take one step, one action, one small win at a time. Focus on yourself, not others, and watch as your life transforms. The world needs more people who are true to themselves, who prioritize their own journey, and who live with purpose and intention. You have that power within you. Use it.